Get over here to some of our comments. We'll let it boost for a little bit. Hey, what's going on, guys? You know where we're at. We're back in booth 3194 in Louisville, Kentucky at the National Farm Machinery Show, sitting in front of the beautifully new being displayed Remedy tractor right here. We've got another guest with us right now, welcoming Dan Park from Western Pennsylvania. Brookfield, Pennsylvania, drives a tractor he calls a Saturday night hooker. You're going to be hooking tonight in the Super Farm class, is that right?
Yes, it is. We were the first hook tonight, so we kind of get to see the track's all about.
Awesome. Tell us about how you got into Super Farm pulling, and tell us what it means to be pulling in Louisville this Wednesday night.
Well, we started when I was a kid with garden tractors and worked our way up through. We've had this current tractor now for about 10 years. We wanted to go to Super Farms. We had the chance of come here, go to Bowling Green. The tractor was built by Don Slama. It's kind of their baby inside of it. It's been doing really well. We've been point champion a couple of times with power pulling production and with full pull production in Western Pennsylvania.
Yeah, absolutely. Don Slama, definitely no small name in the world of truck and tractor pulling. How'd your guys' 2023 season go? I heard you say points championship. Did we win the season again this year?
No, we were second with power pulling productions, and we were fifth with full pull. We missed a couple pulls with full pull. It messed us up. We probably would have been second or third with them.
Sure, absolutely. How many years have you pulled at Louisville now?
This will be 5 years in a row.
5 consecutive years. So you're feeling confident when you see the track. You are no rookie when it comes to going down the track at Louisville.
Yeah. We've done pretty good here. Twice we've been 50. We missed the finals 2 years ago by like 0.3 of an inch. We were fifth place. We top 4 to get into the finals. So.
How much of that do you call on experience with those 5 years, and how much of it's just tractor pulling?
I think it's a little bit of both. This track, on the short track, you can't have any mistakes.
Sure.
I mean, you've got to have a straight run to start. If you got to touch the brakes, it'll get you pretty quick. But we've learned about the front end weight. You got to carry a little more here on this track. It's a really good biting track here in Louisville.
What adjustments, not entirely familiar with the Super Farm setup and the leagues you pull with, what adjustments do you have to make not only to run with some of the Grand National guys, but just to get prepared for pulling on an indoor track?
But we're allowed an intercooler when we pull it home, so here we have to take the intercooler off. And we've gotten better with that with 4 or 5 years of computer data. What we got to do for our water. It's a pretty big learning curve with that intercooler off. We really like having the intercooler on, but here we don't run it with NTPA. We don't run it. So, but we're starting to get that dialed in a little bit better.
Yeah, absolutely. So a proud representative of the Keystone State. If anybody out there watching is from Pennsylvania, or if anybody's got any questions for Dan, be sure and hit us up in the comments. We're having an awesome time at the farm show. If you're in the Louisville area, it's Wednesday. It's a big crowd for Wednesday.
Yes, it is.
It's packed. I feel like pulling is back on its feet. COVID's 4 years behind us. Parts are becoming available again. Is the sport just getting bigger, do you think?
I think so. And I think it's just, we mentioned this last year. We thought the crowds were back all week. For a couple of years, it was only Friday and Saturday night it was busy. But last year and Wednesday last year, it was really busy too.
So let's talk about goals for tonight. Now, there's an obvious answer. You ask someone, what's your goal? You're pulling at the Super Bowl of indoor pulling. Of course, everybody wants to win. You're wanting to come home after putting some sand out on the front of the tractor. But what are some personal goals, or what are you looking to do every step of the way while you're out there pulling this evening?
Well, obviously, we want to win. But, the big thing is try to get in the top 4 tonight so we can come back for the finals for Saturday night and have a shot at winning down here.
How does driving strategy, we've talked a little bit about taking that intercooler off, and we've talked a little bit about how you've got to be on your A game. Do you drive more aggressively? Do you build your boost a little longer? Is anything different when it comes to hooking here as compared to pulling outside?
We build a little longer. It's a good power track, so you got to give it everything you got right away, and you only have 240 feet to get it done. Anything indoor, we only need shorter tracks. You've got to get up and get moving. You can't really slide the clutch too much. You got to get rolling as fast as you can to get your speed up.
Let's talk about that Louisville left hook that us fans always hear about sitting up there. Is that a real thing? And after 5 years of experience, what do you do to counteract that or prepare for it?
If you watch her run from last year, my cousin drives the tractor about half the time. He really got hooked bad last year with standing on the brakes. It's just one of those things we got our front end a little high in the air. When that happened, it wanted to take the tractor left. So weights
and brakes, and you do everything you can to not have to touch those brakes. But hey, sometimes that's better than getting a disqualification and going out of bounds with it. Tell us about 2023 season. What were some of your highlights and some of your best memories from pulling out on that Western Pennsylvania, those series you pulled with this year?
With the 2 pulling organizations we pull with the limited pro stock tractors, the A-Pump 540 tractors. There's a weight differential, which we're not going to have that this year. That class is splitting up. We had a pretty good season. Just those 540 tractors, limited pros got away from us a little bit. We went up to Michigan and pulled there at the end of the year in September. I had a real good two-day hook up there. Beat some tractors. We're at the top end of Bowling Green. It made us feel a lot better.
Sure.
We had a lot of fifths and fourths and seconds. We didn't win any this year, but once we got back up running the Super Farms, we felt pretty strong about the track.
Would you describe your tractor as a consistent finisher then? You guys are one of those that you're always going to be there. You're always going to be in the hunt, and that's how you accumulate those points at the end of the year.
Yep, we're always pretty much always in the top 5. And we're pretty consistent. And even, considered a regional tractor, obviously, but even when we go to the national end, we seem to really get in there pretty good.
Yeah, definitely. And Super Farm is one of those where consistency is almost a great way to describe it. Is this the closest class, if we're going to look at Grand National level or Champions Tour level classes, would you say Super Farm is as close to the casual fan to the typical tractor you'll see out there compared to a big pro stock? Or do you still feel like you're miles away from something you'd ever see in a field?
You're miles away. We farm about 1,000 acres, and we have newer tractors at home. These things they're so precise, and there's so much technology in them now. If you go out there looking, just looking at the bootlegger, that thing debuted yesterday, they're unreal. Even the Super Farms are getting to that level. It takes a ton of work and to get it done.
When you're looking at 640 cubic inches with a 3-inch turbocharger on there, and you said you guys run intercoolers at your home league. Yeah, these are not your grandfather's tractors, no doubt about it. But the Super Farms do have that real good throaty sound. Sometimes they kind of sound like traditional tractor pulling. Have you ever pulled in any other classes, or is this where you love to compete?
Yes, we had a limited pro, a 1066 International, in the early 2000s. Then we had another John Deere Super Farm in between there, and then purchased this one. So it's we've been around the block. The thing we like about Super Farm, it's a national class. We can go anywhere and pull. The limited pro stocks are nice, but you're limited, to Western PA. And then with the light pro coming on now, you want to step. That's another step up. We like the Super Farm, not so much maintenance. I have a cousin, Jeff Sully, he runs the tractor about half the time. I own it, but he takes care of it. It's actually lives in his house, and he's married, has a normal, kind of a normal job, I should say. And he does all the mechanic work and keeps everything going.
So you said your limited pro was a 1066.
Yep.
But now I was checking out your shirt here and that Saturday night hooker, and you were showing me pictures. You went green.
Yep.
Okay, we're gonna make fans. What do you think about that? If you have strong views or strong feelings about that, let us know. Talk to us about why we went from red to green and any fallout that comes with that.
Well, it's funny. As a kid, we had all red. If we didn't have it was either International Red or New Holland Red at our farm. We were dairy farmers at that time. We lost our dealer, so about 88, we started going to John Deere's. Well, now we have 2 John Deere's, 2 New Hollands, and 2 traditional Case IHs. So whatever works, the best deal is that's what
you're an equal opportunity horsepower enthusiast.
Yes,
we'll put it that way. If we can hook it to the track, we're going to take it there. Super Farm pulling is one of my absolute favorite classes out there. It's a driver's class. It's a track reader's class. Let's say that tonight you go out there, you put a big lead on. Let's say that maybe you finish towards the top, you get in the finals. Who are some guys that are going to come gunning for you? Who are your biggest competitors while you're here?
I think Greg Freeze with his tractor. It's right there. The Allison there, Shane Matheson's right there. We pull against him a lot.
Sure.
I mean, there's one other deer in there. Really to look for. I think would be the ones to beat. They're this past year national champions. So lots of competition.
Do I hear it kind of officially said that you think a deer is going to have the advantage? A deer is going to come away winning in the Super Farm class?
I would. It's pretty good odds.
Pretty good odds. I like
lots of green in there.
Spoken very politically correct. I like the way that you say that. That's absolutely awesome. Hey guys, just checking in again. I'm here with Dan Park. He drives the Saturday Night Hooker out of Full Pull Productions.
Yep.
And tell us the other league you compete with. And Power Pulling Productions out of Brookfield, Pennsylvania, Western Pennsylvania. How long does it take you to get to Louisville?
About 7 hours.
That's not too bad. So we're hanging out in booth 3194. Tell them where you are hooking in the order tonight, Dan.
We're the #1 tractor, so we're going to get an early look at the track and see what happens, and have to make a decision once we get down the track. See how things go. Would
you rather hook first than say middle of the pack or last? Is there an advantage to hooking first?
I think it's on this track. I think it is mostly the class ahead of us. So the truck should get it run in a little bit. I think first is a pretty good place. We've always had a foot theory. I'd rather be first than second. First or anywhere else. That's why I don't really care. But second's kind of you're always the first puller again if they reset on you. So.
First one, you get the option. You can at least come back if the track changes. Sometimes the track will change. #2 puller. if he runs great, but that track changes, he didn't have that same option as you.
Yep.
Now, I am curious when it comes to that, you know, if you're throwing the thumbs up or the thumbs down to the flagman, do you kind of right here, right now, already know what you're looking for? Have you kind of said, if I do this, if the TAC reads this, if the other gauge reads this, and we go this far, it's a thumbs up? Or is that a wait and see tonight and you make that decision?
It's kind of a wait and see, but if you get on the track and you get the, you know, you're carrying the front end, you're not on the brakes, you know, and you're in the gear you want to be in, and you know, you spun out strong, you know, and you know, 245 foot track. If you're in the 240s, it's pretty hard to turn that down.
Yeah.
Once you get the motor hot and come back, you know, it's going to be hard. If the track goes away a little bit, it's going to affect things.
Absolutely. So we'll wait and decide tonight, but we have some loose goals that we're looking for. Do you do any other indoor truck and tractor pulling?
Yes, we're at Keystone National
Sure.
in Harrisburg, which is only 2.5 hours for us. And we pulled down there for a number of years, too. That's all the indoor stuff. We went to, not the Ships of Wonder, but at Gordyville years ago, but we kind of, since we've been getting into Louisville, kind of focused for good years. So.
Absolutely. Do you like indoor pulling or outdoor pulling better? Or, hey, man, is pulling fun no matter where we're at?
It's just a totally different atmosphere. The first time we came down here, you had to go in front of they hold 16,000 over there in the arena in Freedom Hall. It's just a totally different feeling. The fans are so close to you, and it's loud, and you can hear the fans a lot better than you do outside.
Does that really play into, you know, how much you get fired up when you're sitting in the driver's seat? You know, they hear a lot of people talk about coming down the tunnel and how that's a big deal. Does that affect you at all, or are you kind of, once you've got that helmet on, you're locked in and you're ready to go?
Well, I want to get that. Once you're ready, I'm locked in. I got to say, the first time we come down, you know, going down the tunnel, getting ready to go, it was really an experience.
Sure.
It was kind of the first time we went to Bowling Green and ran the Champions Tour a few times. You know, just a different feeling. You're not pulling at your home crowd in front of a couple thousand people.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Well, hey, I'll give you an opportunity right here. Anybody you want to thank, any shout outs you need to make? I'm sure you've got a lot of supporters back home in the great state of Pennsylvania. Give a big holler to any thank yous or hellos that you need to say right quick.
Yeah. I'd like to really thank my wife, Lori Park, and my boys, Braden and John. They had to stay home this year, and the older boy plays basketball, so he had some games he wanted to play. They might come down for Saturday if we make the finals. I want to thank her for all her support. My cousin, Jeff Sully, his wife, Heidi, that's the tractor. She lives at their place, and Heidi gets the hauler ready to go, so we're stocked with food so we don't starve them here. And Brad Nogi, he helps us with the tractor. He travels with Jeff in the summer. I actually live about an hour and a half from where the tractor lives in the summer, and I get the pulls. We do a lot of hay, so if I'm busy, I don't go. And Jeff runs it, takes care of it. They do a great job with the tractor. They prepare it. Most nights when I show up to pull, they have it ready, and I just throw them the seat and go anyway. So.
Yep. Absolutely. Well, hey, guys, thank you so much for watching. Dan, you've been another excellent interview. I mean this when I say it. Hey, park it in the sand tonight, buddy. Good luck.
We'll try. Thank you.
Thanks for watching, guys. That was Dan Park. He calls it Saturday Night Hooker.